Purpoz and welcome to my channel. Today I am doing another video about an interesting forum that I came across about the first Americans were Black Aborigines, were the copper-colored race. And so this forum is sort of old. It's not that old. It's about 4-5 years old. And they were doing a discussion to decide on, talk about the research findings that were found by anthropologists on this particular subject. So it starts out right here. I'm going to put a link to this forum so y'all can check it out. But they had some interesting pictures. On the thumbnail, I'm going to put the Peruvians, the Aboriginal Peruvians that they have in this particular but forum, because I thought, it was very telling. But anyway, this post the forum is by Deshret at EgyptSearch forums. And it says here, the first person posted, there was a thread here on ES some time ago about the skeletal remains found in Brazil cave, in which they found a Aboriginal female which predates any other mongoloid found in Brazil. This is a fine documentary about this find and tantalizing theories on how she might have got to Brazil in such an early state. And so, of course, it was a person here that was down here that was deflecting because they said it was a speculative video based on speculation, which I find very ironic, because the BBC that did that, I believe this was a video by the BBC, and these were anthropologists who did this particular video. So it's a team of scientists and researchers, and these people were experts in the field. So I find it ironic that someone would think that was speculative, because it's not showing what they always wanted to show, based on the brainwashing of history that was done through indoctrination. But anyway, this video is not going to be very long, you guys. I'm going to continue on, but because I've been having problems with my internet recording and being able to upload. So this week is going to probably be some shorter videos, probably about 10-15 minutes. Hopefully within, by the end of this month, I get this recording back to normal like I normally do. I usually do 20 to 30 minute videos. But yeah, here's the picture of the findings that were found in Brazil. I believe this is Lucia. Yeah, it is Lucia. And I'm going to read this again. Like I said, repetition is always good. I did several videos about Lucia, about the African Americans, or the American Aborigines, aka also the Paleo Indians, which has also been hidden and brainwashed for centuries. So I'm just going to read through here for those of y'all who don't know. I believe more and more people are opening up their eyes. Well, we're going to read this again. It says here, phenotypically analysis. It says her facial features include a narrow oval cranium, projecting face, and pronounced chin, strikingly dissimilar to most Native Americans and their indigenous Siberian forebears. Anthropologists have variously described Lucia's features as resembling those of Negroids, indigenous Australians, Melanesian, and the Negritos of Southeast Asia. And those who don't know, Malaysians are dark complexion people. They are bronze color. They're not Mongoloids. So I want to keep that in mind. I did a video that also explain who the Malaysians are. Y'all might want to check that out as well. It says Walter Neves, an anthropologist of the University of Sao Paulo, suggests that Lucia's features most strongly resemble those of the Australian Aboriginal people. Richard Neves of Manchester University, who undertook facial reconstruction of Lucia, see the photograph above, believe that it's a Negroid. See, and this is the feature. Then it says Neves and other Brazilian anthropologists have theorized that Lucia's Paleo-Indian predecessors lived in Southeast Asia for 10,000 years after migrating from Africa, and Neves' other Brazilian anthropologists have theorized that Lucia's Paleo-Indian predecessors lived in Southeast Asia for 10,000 years after migrating from Africa and began arriving to the New World as early as 15,000 years ago. Some anthropologists have hypothesized that Paleo-Indian migrated from the coast of East Asia and Beringia in small watercrafts before or during the last ice age. So these are actually referenced from the actual source. I remember reading an article on this as well. And so these are more supportive evidence right here. I'm not sure, I don't think they mentioned the references in this particular source, but they mentioned it in the BBC report when the documentary as well. It says Neves' conclusions have challenged by research done by anthropologist Rolando Gonzalez Jose, Frank Williams, and Williams Armelagos, who have shown in their studies that craniofacial variability could be due to genetic drift or other factors affecting craniofacial plasticity in Native Americans. And then it continues and says, a comparison in 2005 of Lagoa Santa specimens with modern autocustos of same regions also show strong affinities, leading Neves to classify the Autocustos as Paleo-Indians. And as we know, the Paleo-Indians are also the American Aborigines. And so this is the supportive documents right here. And these numbers here are the actual references. More than likely the research, the scientific scholarly journal articles where the information was actually pulled from. And what's so interesting about this is they go on and people comment and put their ideas and thoughts into the actual research that was found. It says here, I think this person's Jantaventa is one of the members from the forum. And it says, a few years ago, I met a Black woman in an international meeting, asked, are you Australian? And she said, I wish, and explained that she was African American. I wondered by then, how come she looked Aboriginal? Exactly. And see, there is a striking resemblance between the American Aborigines and African Americans. The people in that general area, like the Pacific Islanders, there's a very strong resemblance. And New Guinea, there's Papua New Guinea is also another place where there's a strong resemblance between the African American and Aborigines. And that, it's just a striking resemblance. I believe too that most of the African Americans are the indigenous Aborigines here in the Americas, and very few Africans were actually brought over, especially in the United States. And I see that a lot, that I think people get thrown off with Aboriginal because a lot of the Aboriginals Some of them have straight hair, but if you look at some of the African Americans, there's some too that has straight. We have different hair textures as well, and our hair can go from straight to curly to wavy. We have different hair textures. You can see it in my family, and yeah, and so and the original Aborigines had coarse hair. Most people look at the modern Aborigines, and a lot of them do. They're fairer skin and have um, straight to wavy hair, and that's probably due to the intermixing of the Caucasians with the original Aborigines, and that's what you get over the last centuries. And so, of course, they're going to look different from the original people. But the original people did have coarser hair, because if you look at the photos that go further back, especially the photos from Tasmania of the original people, which were right near, not too far from Australia, they have coarse hair. So, I think people get thrown off by the hair, but if you look at the Native Americans and the ones that they claim to be the Aboriginals, or trying to say that they were the only ones here, they have straight hair too. But we were here too. And I think the same thing they did over here is what they're did over there in Australia. It's just that everything took place a little bit earlier, here than it did in Australia. But let's draw down. They had some really, and then what I liked about this particular forum is they actually shared some pictures. Let's go on here. And then there's people that's arguing and counteracting what this other guy is saying up at the top. Even though, and I noticed too that the people who are arguing about the research that was found showing that there were American Aborigines here prior to the Mongoloids, the Native Americans. They do not have no supportive evidence. They just regurgitate the same indoctrination that was passed on in the school system, the brainwashing of history and the false transatlantic slave trade. They don't support it with any type of scientific evidence, no anthropology reports, no findings from scientists or anything. They just base it on opinions and speculation. But let's draw down. And I want to go over these pictures. These pictures speak volumes. The photos explains everything. Real pretty. We're going to draw now. These are, I'm not sure if this is Peru. They didn't put the actual location. I guess this, yeah, yes it is. This is Peru. It says Uros Island, Peru. Okay, these are what the people look like. And when you look at them, they have very dark skin. Some of them about my complexion. And some of them are even darker than I am. I'm African American, classified as African American, even though I'm American Aborigine. And see the skin tone and everything. The hair is a little bit fuller. And let's draw down. And they have their pretty dresses on. And to me, when I look at these people, they look like a blending of the two, of the American Aborigines with the Mongoloids. And see, this is what you're seeing today. Even though they're not the original people, you see the blending of two different racial groups, which is the Mongoloids and the and I guess you would call them, these people, the Afro-Asiatics. Sometimes they call us the Afro-Asiatics as well. And you see that in this video with the skin tone and the hair texture and the facial features. But let's draw down. And then you go down here. Here are some more photos. I'm pretty sure this is probably Peru again. I'm just assuming. I'm not sure, but here they're showing the people today and how they are looking. You see him, his dark skin, blended facial features, American Aborigine with Mongoloids. And then let's draw down. And here go the statues. And the artwork is real pretty. And then these are the original people. They call them, it says here, the girls back in the waters were indeed lovely. Didn't think modern girls were so skilled. American diversity is indeed a beautiful thing. And see, these are the Aboriginal people right here. And more than likely, this is what Lucia probably looked like that was in the skeleton. You know, the skeletal remains that were found in the Brazil of the ancient people that were here in the Americas first. And they call these the black Peruvian women, Chincha Peru, picking cotton. And say, I don't call them black, they're Aboriginal. As you can see, they're the copper color race. One of the copper color races. And let's draw down, here they are. You see the blending. Modern Mandukuku Indians showing no resemblance to the Mandukuku depicted by Hercules Florence. Okay. And see, they look like they're a mixture of the original Aborigines with the Mongoloids. And then you scroll down, there it is right here. And see, she's more like an American Aborigine. Right here. And so this is the modern Apaca people of Mato Grosso, Brazil. These are the Mongoloids right here. They didn't say where this photo was taken. I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking Peru. They didn't put an actual location for this particular photo right here. And let's draw down. Now this picture I really like right here. These are the people. I'm not sure if this is Brazil or Peru, but these are the Aboriginals right here. And see? Definitely Australianoids. You see the skin complexion, you see the hair, and you see the Negro features. These are the original people of probably Peru and Brazil. I'm not sure if this is Brazil. They didn't put the name. I'm assuming this is Brazil. I'm not sure if this is Brazil or Peru, you guys. I wish they would have labeled this thing. Let me know exactly where. And this is more the indigenous Mongoloids. This is the mixed group, I'm assuming, of the mixture of American Aborigines with the Mongoloids right here. And I like how they're showing the diversity. And this is probably another American Aborigine right here, Aboriginal right here. And then it says here, the Aboriginal Asian African, or Afro-Asiatic to be exact, phenotype is still found among purely indigenous people in South and Central America. European anthropologists keep trying to pretend that it disappeared somehow and that these are pure indigenous people in far remote parts of South and Central America or Mexico. You see? They still try to classify the darker complexion as being from Africa, which is not true. And they try to say that the mixed people are the original, which they are not. They are the blending of both the blending of the American Aborigines with the Mongoloids. And this is what you have when you get the blending of the two. And it makes sense. It makes perfect sense to me. And explain the dark skin, the mixed blending of Negroid with Mongoloid features. and the blended hair textures that you see, and the huge diversity that you have. And then they put up more pictures. I believe photos speak volumes. See, this is the blending of American Aborigines with Asians, with the Mongoloids. And what they try to do is deny the people who are the American Aborigines from their indigenous heritage and roots. Here are some more pictures. They have wonderful photos here, and I love this forum. I like how he showed the diversity of the people, and here she is. She's looking like a blending of the two ethnic groups, and here she is right here. And it's sort of what happened to Australia when you blend with a group of people. The modern day Australians don't look exactly like the ancient Australians, and just like here in the Americas as well. They what they trying to do here in America is they trying to blatantly put the Mongoloids as being the only ones here, when actually the Aborigines were here too. In a lot of places you see that with the melanated races, the brainwashing and the erasure of our history. But this person here added a chart, if I can get to it. And I don't know who posted this. I was trying to see, but I believe it's this person down here. It was originally posted by Ra, and they showing the lineage and the different ethnic groups and how everything has came about, and I guess the genetic makeup of the indigenous people that are here. And it says, as we can see, Africans are the furthest away from the genetic Native Americans, Timarua, and which that shows that there are some Mongols there. And like I said, I believe when they put African down, it's a misnomer, because what it does is try to pull the people who are the original ones that were here away from the continent they actually originate from. And when you put African, it really throws people off. And I believe that people need to be educated on the fact that the melanated race of people that they classify as being black were here globally. We weren't just limited to one location. We may come from Africa, or some people believe in the one land mass theory. So, in the point is that we were all over. We're global, and we're the original people. And we're global. Then that will explain everything, and that explain why so many of the skeletal remains of the ancient people are coming out to be more African or indigenous. And let's draw down here some more. He then puts a quote down here. It says, "I remember the article papers a few years back about skulls remaining Africans versus and Aborigines versus Mongoloid Native Americans features disappear and replaced by later Mongoloids. My point is these features never left and are still there today." And I agree with this person, Doug M., whoever posted this. He said that they try to say that everything has gone away and they were Mongoloids, and they want to classify everybody as Mongoloids. But some of these people, if you look at their facial features and everything, they look like they're a blending of the two. And if you do the research, that'll explain why a lot of them have some African descent in them, because they are mixed with Aboriginal as well, Aborigines. So it says here, there's a quote here. I'm not sure where he quoted from. I guess this is the quote he got it from the New York Times. It says, "In humans gold that is predominantly displayed in the National Museum have been attracting crowds and controversy in equal measure since it was the first unveiled early this month. After 2 decades of storage, the fossilized cranium has now been identified as Brazilian scientists as the oldest human remains ever recovered in the Western Hemisphere. And it says here the skull is that of a young woman named Lucia, who believed to roam the savannah of South Central Brazil 11,500 years ago. And it says here, even more startlingly, a reconstruction of her cranium underneath in Britain's this year indicated that her features appeared to be Negroid rather than Mongoloid, suggesting that that Western Hemisphere may have initially been settled not only earlier than thought, but by people distinct from ancestors today of North and South American Indians. And then it says Lucia Negro features notwithstanding, Dr. Neps is not arguing her ancestors from Brazil, from Africa, and her early transatlantic migration, which predates the slave trade theory. See, we were already over here. And if you can show that we were already over here prior to slavery, then that pretty much debunks the stories that are constantly been told about the transatlantic slave trade, that we were brought over here. We were already in here, and that's why we're indigenous. And it says instead, indeed, he believed they originated Southeast Asia, migrating their 2 directions south to Australia, where today's Aboriginal people may be their descendants, and navigating northward along the coast and across the Bering Strait until they reached the Americas. And so this pretty much shows right here from this quote that the indigenous Aborigines were already over here. And even though there's scientific evidence that's showing the Negroid Indians remains being scattered all over the Americas, there are still people who try to debunk the theory and try to ignore the facts because they want to keep the false narrative going. And over here, this person is showing more research. I'm not going to go over this because I wasn't trying to make this video very long. You all can look at it right here. And they have a link to New York Times if y'all want to check that out as well. And also, I like he says right here at the very bottom by Doug M. Pretty much it says, and remember the article in the papers from a few back about the skulls resembling Africans and Aborigines versus Mongoloid natives. They claimed that those features disappeared and were replaced by Mongoloids. My point is that the features never left and are still there to this day. And what that means is these people that are walking around today are mixed group of people. The original people are the American Aborigines, okay? And then the Mongoloids came later. They mixed in with the American Aborigines and created these indigenous people today. And you can see it today where they try to say that they are all Mongoloids and fail to realize that this is a diverse group of people and that some people are mixed. And then the lighter and the very fair skin that you see today, like in Mexico, they're mixed. They're a triracial group of people. They mix with the American Aborigines, the Mongoloids, and they mix with the Caucasians as well. And that's where the pale skins come from. The paler the people are, the less indigenous they are. They're not, the original people. They're the mixed race of people. Okay. And a lot of times they try to put them as being the original, when in actuality they're not. But this is going to be the conclusion of my video. He has some more supportive evidence right here. we're not gonna have time to go over that. But if y'all want to check out this forum, you can, because they're still going back and forth and explaining more things, and there's some more pictures at the bottom that you all may want to check out. But I find these forums very interesting, and I like them because you get a chance to see the point of view from two different perspectives: those who believe that the American Aborigines were already over here, and those who want to keep the narrative of indoctrination alive. So I just noticed that those who want to keep the indoctrination alive and the brainwashing of history alive are the main ones who never have much scientific evidence to support their opinion. And oftentimes they don't. They just regurgitating the same lies that were taught in school. And the ones that are trying to show that the Aborigines are here are actually giving scientific evidence and proof, quantitative research. But anyway, please like this video and thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to check me out on check out my website, Purpose Counseling and Wellness Center, and also my GoFundMe, PayPal, and Patreon is also going to be down below. And yeah, please let me know what y'all think about this, and if you know of any other forums that you've seen or came across, please let me know. Until next time, family, peace, love, and peace. Bye-bye.